Welcome to another video on the channel, everyone. I just wanted to get another video out there before the start of the 2020 season so that I could introduce you all to DC United's record signing that they made this January. He's a Peruvian attacking midfielder. He's only aged 25 and he's already played on 3 different continents. He's represented Peru at the World Cup and he's set to be a real star for DC. So whether you've been following the team closely this offseason or not, I hope you learned something from this video about Edison Flores. And without further ado, let's get into it. So just to start out, Flores comes from a town called Comas in Peru. It's outside of Lima, and this is where he really got started with his footballing career. He played for Universitario in Peru. They're a big club in Peru. They're big rivals with another huge club in Lima, Alianza Lima. And Flores debuted for them at just age 17, where, funny enough, his debut appearance, he was subbed on for current Portland Timbers player Andy Polo. And he went on and played half that season and then a full season with Universitario before he was recognized by the Spanish side Villarreal. He played 2 seasons with Villarreal's reserve team and then came back to Universitario and played 2 more years there in Peru. And then in the summer of 2016, with interest from multiple clubs, Flores headed back to Europe, but this time he went to Denmark to join Aalborg. I hope I'm saying that right. Aalborg BK. It's AAB, and he signed a 4-year deal with them. But after just 2 years in Scandinavia there, he performed well, and Monarcas in Mexico signed him. He spent 2 successful seasons with them, and that's where we find ourselves now. In the winter, January window of 2020, DC United swooped in, signed the star from Monarcas Morelia, and they paid a record transfer fee for the club of over $5 million for Edison Flores. I think the biggest takeaway as a DC United fan of this signing is that, sure, Edison Flores is not a name like Wayne Rooney. It's hard to find another name like Wayne Rooney that you can attract to your club. But the fact that DC United paid $5 million of transfer fee for him is new ground for DC United, and it really is setting a new precedent for the club, saying that this is what they need to do to bring constant improvement for the team and what they need to do to continue to grow in a league that's also growing, and they have to just keep pace with that, if not outreach that growth of the league, if they want to really be as successful as they were 20 years ago now. So if you're interested in another video talking about the expansion of MLS and the kind of impact that has on existing clubs like DC United, that's something I've been thinking about creating. I've put a little bit of research into it already, so comment down below and let me know if you want to see a video like that. I think it'd be really interesting to really analyze the impact that expansion teams have on the already established teams, because it's clear that these established teams have to put in even more work as more teams come in, spend more money, etc., etc., etc. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. But back to Flores. In early January, Pablo Maurer of The Athletic reported that a deal would be made for Flores that would be over $3 million, which would still be a club record transfer fee. And obviously they went on to pay a lot more than that, which makes an even bigger statement in the belief that they have in Edison Flores. And in recent interviews, manager Ben Olsen has talked about the belief he has in the current team going into 2020, despite following the departure of Wayne Rooney and Lucho Acosta, now bringing in Edison Flores and Julian Gressel. The team's going to be scoring goals in different ways than they did the past 2 years, but he's still very confident that they can get it done, and I have to say myself, I am too. So when we look at Flores as a player and how he'll fit into this DC United team, he's very pacey and he's creative. He's an attacker who favors his left foot. He's still got a strong right foot though. And with that, he plays on the left frequently, but he can also play central. He's said publicly that he doesn't have a preference for which position he plays. And I have a quote from Ben Olsen speaking of Flores. He says, "He's a guy that we envision giving a little bit of freedom in the center of the park, but also with the understanding that he's got 50-something games with Peru out wide. And he's able to bring different qualities to the game when he's in that position, but equally as effective." I think this says a lot about Ben Olsen's faith in the player, that Flores can really get the job done whether he's playing centrally or wide, and we may see him playing both for DC this year, just depending on how he decides to organize the team to really bring out the strengths of Flores and the other attackers around him. So Edison Flores brings a strong resume coming into DC after helping Morelia in the playoffs in Liga MX, and being a mainstay for Peru in the 2018 World Cup and in the 2019 Copa America when they made a run to the semifinals. And just a bit of fun here, Flores has been lovingly nicknamed Orejas, which means ears, for his noticeably sized ears. It's something that he's embraced, and I think that the DC fans will definitely embrace that and carry that on for him in his new adventure here in DC. So I expect him to be a really popular player here in DC, of course on the field for his eye-catching moves and his goal contributions that he's sure to have this season, but also in the community here in DC there is a large Peruvian population, and Flores has already said that it'll be a really good thing for him to be able to connect with the Peruvian population here. He feels at home in that community, and that'll be a big draw for fans and Edison Flores alike. And that's all I've got for you guys today. If you like what you heard, if you like what you saw, subscribe to the channel for more videos. Follow DCU_TV on Instagram because I post a lot more there. And comment your expectations for Edison Flores down below. What do you think he'll do in 2020? Do you think this is a worthwhile club record transfer fee for DC United? Thanks for watching.